of sorrow has taken you. Angels have no thoughts of ever returning you. Would they be angry if I thought of joining you? Gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday. Sunday is gloomy with shadows. I spend it all. My heart and I have decided to end it all. Soon there'll be flowers and prayers that are sad, I know. Let them not weep, let them know that I'm glad to go. Death is no dream, for in death I'm caressing you. With the last breath of my soul, I'll be blessing you. Gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday, gloomy Sunday.
Yes, whenever I walk into this room and I hear everybody laughing and playing together, it only reminds me of the cold world that I come from. Growing up with an old coal miner in a shack without electricity or plumbing, I got accustomed to the concrete and steel. Playing with myself in the absence of others in a world before transistors and cell phones. Living in isolation, soon discovered by the Board of Health and then doctored into the middle class. Yes, I finally found a home to go to. But boy, was I shocked when I got to my new parents' house and I saw the two of them just sitting there with their black and white television on low and patterning the nerve speech. Yes, you can bet that all I learned in that house was how to keep on hating the enemy. Yet I hung out with my Fosters for a little while, with nowhere to go yet, long before shopping malls were invented. But then, God bless them, my young friends came along, and they taught me the proper way to masturbate. Yes, and when I finally reached puberty, you can bet your ass I climbed onto the back of the first available babysitter and I rode that bitch doggy style. I rode her around the room a half a dozen times before I fell off dazed and delirious at her feet, with her just smiling and pissing and pointing me in the direction of Whitman's open road and the long way on out of there. Yeah, the long way on out of there. Right through the darkest doors, dereliction and deprivation and drugs and despondency and degeneracy, through nightmarish landscapes of Bosch and Briegel, through the hell with Dante and Virgil, and on the back door with Homer and Circe. Ah, the long way on out of there. And so, with an emerging awareness, I began to dream of the day that I, too, would wallow with my new mommy and daddy in that great bed of cum and piss and shit and procreation that they called the American way. Oh, while the visions of sugar plums danced in our heads, and the pink flamingos strutted boldly across the papered walls that we call our lives. You know I'm talking about the 50s before Elvis. Oh, yeah. I moved on out of there all right, and I met the woman of my dreams. Yeah, she was a 50s nudie cutie with the stench of a musky beaver. She looks a lot like Betty, or some other page torn lustily from the forbidden tree of knowledge, the one they torn down and circulated as the girly magazines in those days. Oh, yes, we started out all right. It was peace and love and all that propaganda. But it didn't take us long before we were both just sitting there, trapped inside a 1969 drunk accusation. Our color television's on low and patterning the nerve speech. Oh, but the controls on that girl's television were forever corroded and stuck there like the cavity she wore to conceal the great cavity that used to contain her heart. Oh, that poor dear child. But now, let me tell you something. Here it is, the long-awaited millennium, and the girl I got my eyes on now. That girl is young, wet, and from the suburbs.